Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to a video, and today we're going to be doing a review of the HQ Prop 5x5x3 V1s, which is their newest V1s prop, and it has the 50 pitch, so it's a 5-inch 5-pitch prop. So they have the 4.3, or they have the 4.0, the 4.3, the 4.8, and now the 5.0, so they definitely have a lot of different variations in the pitch here, with this one being the highest, so it'll be interesting to see how this compares to the 4.3 V1s, which I've been previously using. So if we compare it to a 4.3 V1s I have here, here's the 4.3, it's pretty much exactly the same in all regards. If you look at the blade shape, it's exactly the same. However, if we compare the pitch, obviously they are different. The one on the bottom, hopefully you can see that it has a steeper scoop to it, the 5-pitch being on the top. That's going to make it react a little bit different. So let's just get a quick weight on it. Here's the, do the 4.3 first, see how much it weighs. Pretty light prop, it's 3.77 grams, pretty light for a 5-inch prop. And then here's the new 5-pitch version, and it is 4.47 grams, so it's actually quite a bit heavier there. 0.7 grams heavier, so adding that extra scoop definitely added some weight to it. When HQ brought out the original V1s, the initial goal of it seemed to be like to replace the old HQ 5x4x3, however now being more durable. It aimed to be an efficient, smooth, lightweight, fast, responsive prop, so pretty much everything should carry over to the 5 version, the 5-pitch version, but with varying differences. So just real quick intro on the prop, let's do some testing. Alright, here we are outside for the line of sight of the HQ 5050 V1s. So we have a Mode 2 Ghost frame here. We have the Brother Hobby R3 2207 2550 kV motors. We have a SpeedX IS30, FreeSky X4R SB, Highplay F4, TBS Unify HV Race, Foxier Micro Aero, Amex Pagoda, and a Tattoo R-Line 1395C. And I'm going to have to use this little transmitter case because it is so cold out right now. Let's get this guy. I'll put it up and get this silly thing on. It's kind of a pain to use, but it really does help with the cold. Let's just get this guy out here into the sun a little bit. So it does sound like I'm having some kind of weird oscillations, but this build is pretty beat up. A lot of dents in the motors and stuff. But pretty decent bottom end, actually not too crazy. Yeah, it just seems like it takes just a minute to get up to speed there. Let's do a full speed pass from this direction here. See, pretty decent top speed for a V1s prop. Kind of having a hard time keeping it down here. Probably about 90 miles an hour, definitely not that fast. But it for sure is faster than the 4.3 V1s that a lot of people are used to. So it's pretty much the same prop in that regard, except it just has the higher pitch, so it's got more speed and more amp draw. And it's also like 10 degrees out right now, so the battery is going to be performing a little bit worse than normal. So there we go, that was just some quick line of sight with the HQ 5050 V1s. Let's put the goggles on and see how they fly FPV. Okay, here we have the HQ 5050 V1s for some FPV. I apologize about the OSD not having the correct name on it and stuff. I just had to swapped his camera in actually. Just getting a feel for them there, and they definitely are pretty much like the rest of the V1s line. Nice low end control and response. Not as much, probably due to the higher pitch, just a little bit more load for the motor. But they still are probably easier than, say, like a 5152. Here's top speed. See, not that great, but not terrible. Definitely faster than the 4.3 V1s. Goggles are fogging up a little bit here. Making it hard to fly. Chasing that shadow. Whoa! Yeah, they definitely are more efficient than, say, a 5152, but they are definitely pulling more amps than a 4.3 V1s.
30 seconds.
However, I've been using these the past few weeks for racing, and I really like the balance that they achieve between efficiency, control, and speed.
20 seconds.
So if it's a little bit of a tighter track where I don't need the 5152 speed, I've been really liking using these guys.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Alright, let's come in and land here. Alright, so here we are back after the quick flight testing of the HQ 5x5x3 V1s. So let me just quick sum up my thoughts. So I actually have been racing these guys for about maybe 2 weeks now of extra testing. So let me just show you some real quick footage of that. So I definitely have been using these guys in an actual race environment on different quads. You can see I have my one Ghost with the pod using the V1s here, as well as the quad we tested them on. So one of the reasons that I've actually been enjoying the 5x5x3 V1s quite a bit for racing recently is sort of compared to, if you compare it to a GemFan 5152 or like a GemFan 5055, just a lot really aggressive props that produce a ton of power. It's sort of like adding expo to your throttle. It sort of dumbs it down a little bit. Just like I used the 4.3 for that sort of on tighter tracks where I was less confident. It made it much, much easier to fly and get faster at, even if instead of using a fast propeller, because it enabled me to fly faster. But this one is a lot nicer for that because it definitely is easier to fly with because there's not just insane amounts of power coming out of it. However, it still is pretty powerful with a decent speed due to the increased pitch. So I find like it's a happy medium. If I'm flying on a smaller, tighter track where I need to be a little bit more precise, I'm a little bit more unsure of myself, this prop really helps get my lap times down. In terms of efficiency, I run usually heavy props like this, and I have absolutely no issue. Once again, I'm running 2207, 2550 kV motors, and these motors are the new Mode 2 motors, and they are actually 2207. They don't have them written on here. They're sort of prototypes, but they are 2600 kV. I have absolutely no issues at all with battery, even running on sort of more open track, just going around real fast, no issues. So these definitely do pull more amps than the 4.3 version. However, they are still pretty efficient compared to other high-pitch race propellers. It still is the V1s, which kind of makes sense since they don't have gobs of power, but they're definitely, I wouldn't say your battery is not going to be really an issue. In terms of durability, They actually are pretty decent when you compare them to the original 4.3 V1s. Once again, sort of just pitting them against each other. When I weighed them in the intro here, this was 0.7 grams lighter than this one, and you can definitely feel it when you hold it in your hands and sort of just flex and bend this one. This one bends a lot. You can see it sort of bends up at the hub. I got that one to bend just a little bit there, right at the beginning of its scoop. It's super, super bendy, so they're actually not that durable. But the 5x5 is definitely a lot stiffer and sort of bends farther out, which is good. They seem to be handling crashes a little bit better. I do have some broken ones here. These ones sort of just chipped out and exploded at the ends. However, this really isn't fair because when I was flying these, it was like 5 degrees Fahrenheit out, so the plastic's super brittle. But they definitely, I would say, is a durability increase over the 4.3, which was one of my concerns when running it, so I'm actually pretty happy there. So yeah, that's going to bring us to the end of the video. I definitely am a big fan of these props, and pretty much going forward, I know I haven't released the video yet for the GemFan 5055, but I'm also really liking this prop. So just to real quick give an explanation, I'm kind of using this more for longer tracks that are real fast and I'm more confident of myself, where you can really pack on the speed. But tracks where I need maybe a little bit more efficiency, but more so of more control, a little bit of tighter spaces to fly around in, I'm definitely going to be using this 5x5x3 HQ. It just really feels really nice in the air. Really good control while still giving you pretty decent speed, especially for a tighter track. So that's what I'm going to be using it for. There'll be a link down in the description below if you're interested in purchasing the props or checking out other information on them. Please subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.